This is Aaron East with MMA UK, and I'm joined today by Nicholas Cornejo of WarriorBuilt MMA. Nicholas is set to make his debut for One Championship on September 6th in Denver, Colorado, right for the absolutely stacked 1168 card. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me today, Nicholas, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, my friend. And congratulations on your upcoming inclusion to 1168. You must be absolutely hyped when receiving that call.
Man, I'm thrilled when my coach Jeff Santos, he called me up and told me the news, and just taking back all the hard work that I put in the last 4 years, in my training, and a lot of the sacrifice that I put towards this, and you know it's an overwhelming feeling, but a good overwhelming feeling for sure.
It must be a great compliment, as you said, to all the work you've been putting in. Honestly, you must be beaming from ear to ear.
Yeah.
And so early on in your professional journey as well, to reach the heights of One Championship. I mean, did you ever envision yourself in this position so soon?
No, I honestly, I let my work do most of my talking. What I do in the cage, what I do outside of the cage. You know, with our youth program, and just trying to make a name for myself. I've always wanted to growing up. Growing up in Pueblo, Colorado. We didn't always have the luxuries growing up. You know, growing up in the projects and stuff like that. So
You-
I just always wanted better for myself and better for my kids.
Yeah, I think like speaking from a personal level as well. I mean, when you get like raised and brought up in a not so great environment, it gives you more and more determination to reach that top limit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
100%. I mean, is this just a one-time thing? But can we expect more from you under the banner? Is this like a one-fight contract, or they're giving you a multiple fight?
Um, I'm pretty sure this is to test the waters with me.
Mm.
But I'm gonna show out just like I do every fight. I'm a finisher. Um, you know, I'm just gonna go out there and let my work do the talking. Like I said, let my training do the talking, and what I've the hours I put in practice and camp, and just let it all out in the cage. Adrian Lee, he's very young. And, he's only 18. I'll be 35 in 2 weeks. So I have a kid who's 2 years younger than him. So um, definitely gonna be testing the age gap there between us for sure. But he looks phenomenal. With his family history and his family background, his brothers and sisters, Victoria, Christian, and Angela, all being one champions for
Mm.
one, and so he has a lot on his plate too to prove, I guess. A lot of big shoes to fill on his side of the family. Me, um, I'm fighting for me. I've only got my shoes to fill for this fight and for my journey. I don't have
Yeah.
no siblings that did fighting prior. I've been wrestling since I was 8 years old, growing up here in Pueblo, and that's really all I have is my wrestling background, and Jeff Santos and Gabe Sharp, and I can't give those guys enough credit where credit is due, especially with Jeff. Um, Taking a wrestler who crisscrossed his feet most of the time and really didn't have much power behind my punches, and him taking the time and building my striking game with me throughout the years. So hats off to Jeff Santos and Gabe, Jeremiah, my wrestling coach too. Bruce Reese, who was my other wrestling coach until he retired. You know, got his family going on. So I just wanted to give a lot of credit to those guys the last 4 years.
It's very admirable to hear. I mean, without them, as you said, you'll be absolutely nowhere.
Hmm.
And I've caught up on some of your amateur background as well as your professional background. They've done a fine job with you.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I've recently caught up on some of your amateur background as well as your your recent professional fights, and the people that you're just giving a shout out, they've done a great job with your skill set there.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you can see, all my fights, fortunately are on YouTube, and you could just see the progression in each fight that I have, and the more and more I'm able to dial in and listen to Jeff and be able to come out with a victory, my hand raised every single one.
Yeah, definitely. From what I've seen, hopefully, but they're looking to signing you up, as I believe you'd be an absolutely phenomenal addition to the roster.
Thank you, thank you. Man, I hope that I just impress, the executives at one. Um, I have a lot on my shoulders with my family. Being the only Pueblo born and raised fighter, whether that's boxing, wrestling, MMA, to get signed to a major promotion like One Championship out of Pueblo. I'm the first only fighter in history so far to do that, and I just hope that I lay the platform for future generations. We have in our gym, we have so many phenomenal young fighters that are coming up. Um, Jordan, he's one of our youngest. Silas, he's one of our younger guys. Preston, our youth program, and those three kids are just they are they are one to be watched for when they hit that maturity level for sure. And I just hope that I'm able to pave the way for them guys. With what we're doing at WarriorBuilt MMA down in Pueblo, um, to set a stepping stone for them as well too, and
And they've
any
definitely,
other future generation fighters too.
yeah, they've definitely got some great role models in you guys. I'm sure they'll do well. I mean, hopefully one day I might be interviewing them again for this exact same opportunity you have with a big old promotion, eh?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, many who know you will notice the change in your usual division of lightweight. I mean, do you feel more comfortable at welterweight for this upcoming one?
So the way the division is set with One Championship is obviously a little bit different than any other promotion, and
Yeah,
UFC, their lightweight division is 155 through 170,
yeah,
and so it's going to be a little bit more of a comfort level because I don't have to cut so much weight, or hardly cut any weight at all.
yeah,
And he is I've faced adversity my entire life, with wrestling in high school, wrestling in middle school, wrestling when I was little, and
mm,
every single one of my opponents has always been bigger than me, always been taller than me, and I just I find a will, I find a way, I prevail, and to me, size doesn't it never matters to me. It's not the size of the dog; it's the size of the fight and the dog.
yeah, exactly.
Um, so he is a little bit taller. Like I said, all my opponents, my tallest opponent that I've had was 6'4". I'm
Yeah.
5'7". I'm 5'7".
Oh wow.
So yeah, so there was a major difference, and I was able to come out victorious in that fight. But you know, we're gonna test this out, and you know, all we want is the outcome to be the greatest that we can. Come out with a victory, obviously, with my hand raised at the end of it, and then we're gonna go down to 145s, and my coach Jeff feels like that's a more comfortable weight for me with my size. But man, I love to eat. It's not that I eat dirty. I love to eat, man, and I eat pretty healthy, but I do overindulge quite a bit. But I love food, man. I love food. I take care of my body. My fiance Ricky helps me out with my nutrition.
Mm,
Um, Jeff, keeps on my weight, gets on me about my weight, and I've been doing this for 8 years. Well, not 8 years, but since I was 8 years old, cutting weight, and I had no issues cutting weight. And so hats off to my fiance Ricky, who keeps me in line too at home with what I put in my body, how much I put in my body, especially during camp. She's on me, at home, and then I got Jeff on me at the gym. So it's
yeah.
back of they communicate, you know, with each other too about my weight, about what I'm eating. So it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling to have the support that I have with them too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right to overindulge as long as you can control it yourself. I mean, you definitely deserve it after all these camps. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think you guys are built completely different. I don't understand how you can do those weight cuts. They do look very, very grueling.
Yeah.
I mean, this debut will give you the chance to showcase your skill set to one championship crowd also. I mean, it'd be a debut for them to see you as well. I mean, what can they come to expect from you once that cage door closes?
Man, so I give credit to one of the commentators for Colorado Combat Club, Jordan Kreutz. He, when I was walking out for my second pro fight back in December, he said it best, is that I have no brakes, all gas. I'm like a rabid dog, unleashed, and pressure, and that's what I'm known for, is my constant pressure, my tank. I have, not to toot my own horn here, but I feel like I have the best cardio ever. The way I run, the way I train, especially being in Colorado with the high altitude, and I have a gas tank that I don't wear out, and that's one of my biggest attributes is my gas tank, that I you know I get that second wind and I just keep going and I keep going, and my pressure, my wrestling, my constant wrestling, chain wrestling, stuff like that. But I don't want to get anyone fooled. I do have hands too if I need to. So I haven't had anybody to test my wrestling, and until that happens, everyone will see the hands that I have. Let go. Hello. Bad connection.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
That's perfect. I think there was a bit of a loose connection there. I mean, I was just saying as I cut out there that anyone that's watching that hasn't seen Nicholas out there, I mean, I've been doing some research on you, as I just said. You've definitely got a gas tank on you, and 100%, if it needs to go all the rounds, I think you'll be more than comfortable with all of those rounds. I mean, I know you're probably hoping that it doesn't, but just to confirm, 100%, I 100% agree with you there, man.
Hey, thank you,
100%.
man. Thank you.
Very, very welcome. I mean, a night of violence has been promised by Chatri, and he's definitely certainly delivered on that note. Well, with an awesome card from top to bottom, and including yours as well. But other than your inclusion on the night, are there any confirmed fighters or bouts in particular that you're looking forward to witnessing at all?
Yeah, I've been following John Haggerty a lot, Super League a lot. I'm looking forward to John Haggerty. I watch him on Instagram. I see his videos, and I became a huge fan overnight. Him and his brother.
Yeah.
I became huge fans of those two dudes overnight. Just the way they train and just their mentality is kind of similar to mine. And I know Demetrius Johnson's not fighting that night, but from what I heard through the grapevine, he is going to be there. So I'm gonna get pretty geeked, like a nerd
Yeah.
at Comic-Con, seeing him, because he's an amazing fighter as well too. When the UFC did a trade with him and Ben Askren, one got a steal with that dude, and just to see him is gonna be a complete honor. And same thing with John Haggerty and Super League, just to see those guys is gonna be a complete honor. And even Mikey too, Mikey, who's competing in the co-main event. And Rotang, and I would like to see Mikey too, because we currently we are under master jiu-jitsu artist Carlos Machado out of Texas. That's who our affiliation is with our jiu-jitsu, our gi and no gi jiu-jitsu, and really getting into jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu art, and recently getting my blue belt under him and Jeff Santos, and kind of finding a new love for jiu-jitsu, and just watching Mikey and all his fights, is really something else. And yeah, he's an amazing grappler for sure. So I'll be looking forward to that. John Haggerty, Super League, all them dudes, and it's gonna be a fun night. I know that one sold out last year at First Bank Arena,
Mm.
and they decided to do it again here, and even bigger with Ball Arena. So this is the biggest stage of my life so far, and I'm gonna take everything in and soak everything in, and not take a single thing for granted, and just go with it, and show the world, who Nico Cornejo is, the Steel City kid, born and raised here, and show everyone that you can make something of yourself through hard times.
You've 100% deserved it, my friend. I mean, I completely agree with you. With John Haggerty as well. I mean, I've not, unfortunately, not had the pleasure of meeting him, but I've been to his gym, and he is trained by one of the UK's biggest coach, Steve Cook. Absolute killers down there at that gym. I mean, it'll be an absolute pleasure to watch and meet. I mean, hopefully one day I'll be over there watching you guys in person. That'll be absolutely incredible, man.
Absolutely. In order, if I can get a training session with him, man, that'll make my day. That'll make my life, honestly.
Well, I've heard he's a really nice guy, so I'm sure he'll be willing to have a little training session with you, but even before or probably after. Who knows?
Absolutely. So, John, if you're watching this, man, hey, hit me up.
Definitely. Man, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, Nicholas, my friend. I wish you all the best for your preparations, and I'll definitely look forward to catching you out there on the night, brother.
Thank you, man. Can I give a few shout outs real quick?
Yeah, of course. I was going to say that after, but you go right ahead, man. Is there anyone you'd like to give a
Right
shout
on.
out to or any messages to?
Yeah, I would like to thank each and every one of my sponsors who sponsored me this camp, family and friends who helped with, sponsors and donations, who just didn't have businesses but wanted to help me out with this camp. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. My mom, my dad, my stepdad. Um, I want to give a shout out to my teammates, Andre Ross, uh, Francis St. Peter, the American Psycho. Yeah, those two guys have really been with me these couple camps, and they're 125ers, so they're a little small, but they're my height, but they grind just as much as I do, and I hope that one day soon that they can get on a big card like this, and I hope one is able to watch them as well too. And they're both amateurs right now. Francis St. Peter is 3-0. Andre is 2-0, and they both got fights coming up pretty soon. So those guys, I love those guys too much. My buddy Derek, who helps me out in sparring. My buddy Robert, the real Dilcher Hill. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's a big name with the power slap with the UFC. He just
Oh
recently
yeah, I
went on.
think I noticed. Yeah, I know exactly who
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
about.
my teammate. That's my buddy. He comes in and he helps as much as he can too with sparring on spar nights. So big shout out to them. And I want to give a shout out to our sister gyms up in Springs, Empower Training Center, with Eric Lalone and his sons Matthew and Chris Lalone. Christopher Lalone is one of the top American kickboxers in the world, and he comes down and trains with us as much as he can. So big shout out to them. Devin McClingy, he comes down and he helps us. He's a tower of a man. 190s. I think he's like 6'7", maybe 6'6", if that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I love those guys up there in Springs, and then Mike Swade from Chaos Fight Team. Uh, they always invite me out to go, train with them and get some rounds in, and very much appreciated to each and every one of those guys out there. And then again, Carlos Machado, with his affiliation with us with Jiu-Jitsu, and I couldn't do it without them. So big shout out to each and every one of them. And like I said earlier, my fiance Ricky, who really handles a lot of the outside, personal things in our life, you know, that
Yeah.
doesn't require at the gym. She takes on a lot so that I won't have to worry about it with my training. So I give a lot of credit to her, you know, with our kids and taking care of our kids, um and then the last but not least, you know, is Gabe Charbonneau and Jeff Santos, the two men that, you know, believed in me and saw what I can bring, and like I said, without them too, you know, I wouldn't be here without them. I love you guys.
That's definitely a great message, and it's absolutely incredible to see someone with such passion. But talking about the people that help build him up, it's always an amazing thing to see, my friend. Well, a great fighter with a great story, and hopefully a great inclusion to one championship 168. Congratulations again, brother. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Take care, brother. Bye.
You too.